you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. So I'm taking Preacher, Bautista, and Admiral out today. We're going to go run some errands together, which is going to be fun. And yeah, so I'll try to get some footage for you guys, but just wanted to let you guys know what we're going to be up to. As you can tell, Admiral is so happy. Aren't you happy? You good boy. Would you good Admiral? Yep, he's so happy. Yeah. One of the things that I like to do to help with the male bonding with my dogs is to always make sure to take the males out together, which kind of helps to create an inner pack within the pack, which I think is really important for the boys to be able to be, work together and be together. What is it, Admiral? What is it? And so anyway, pretty cool. So it's not cool yet, but it is going to start cooling down a little bit. It's still like 90 something degrees today, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. A really good idea if you are going to take your dogs out is, especially if you're going to be taking them in stores, which I am, is to always let them have some outside time. That way, before you go in, they have the opportunity to go to the bathroom. So that's what I'm doing right now. And so yeah, because you don't want to have any oopsies inside of the store, because you don't want for there to be any new or anybody to have a bad experience with having dogs in stores, because it's very rare that you even get places that will allow you to do that. And so for me, I like to make sure that the experience is as positive as possible. And it's also very important to recognize that you really need to do the work with your dog. If your dog isn't friendly or is shy or skittish, please don't take them into a store. I've seen a lot of people do this, or people that they take their emotional support animal, like the people that when they take their dogs onto the plane, you always hear about somebody getting bit. It's like, are you serious, man? Like, don't be so selfish as to take your dog when they're not ready or don't have the temperament for it into a place where they're going to make a fool of themselves and then get a bad reputation for everyone, because nobody wants to risk, really, dude? Nobody wants to risk getting bitten by a dog or anything, and so it just kind of ruins it for everybody else. So please don't. I know in Germany, it's like in places in Germany, the dogs are allowed in a lot of places, like just about everywhere. But it's common knowledge that you don't take your dog if your dog isn't well behaved. It's just a simple courtesy thing. And here in America, people really are not about courtesy. They're about themselves. And so I ask you not to do that. If you're watching my channel, and if you are the kind of person that brings your emotional support dog in places, please make sure that your dog is well behaved, because we don't need any more, dogs in the news for attacking somebody or hurting somebody when they shouldn't have been out in the public in the first place. So, and those of you that do have well-trained dogs like mine and are socialized, bring yours out and really help people to have a more positive experience with the dogs, so that you can help frame people's mind into believing that it's not a bad idea and that it can be done. And so I also had some people that were just like, well, what about people that have fear of dogs or allergies of dogs? And it's like, look, if, first of all, most of the time, the dogs are not in enough to really cause an allergic reaction for most people. I've never heard of it, actually. I've been taking my dogs into places for years, and I've never heard of anybody. There's not once been some kind of thing in the news of a person has an allergic reaction to dogs at Home Depot, because everybody brings their dogs into Home Depot. So, and as far as like fear of dogs, I'm sorry, but I don't care. I mean, I'll be real honest with you, I don't. Either get over it or walk away, walk in the opposite direction. But I'm like, the idea that a person that has a fear should matter more than our ability to bring our dogs in is it just, I don't subscribe to that idea. I don't think that their phobia is more important than my want to bring the dogs in, and everybody else's. Like the percentage of people that are afraid, to me, doesn't outweigh the percentage of people that love to see the dogs and like to pet them and enjoy them. So, and then also the benefit that my dogs get to being able to be socialized and have a good experience with people. There's a lot of benefit to that. And I just don't think that one person's fear or phobia should outweigh all the positivity that can come with responsible interactions with these dogs out in public. So it might sound callous, but I've never been known to be a bleeding heart person who just like has all the sympathy in the world for everybody. I kind of I weigh the pros and the cons, and I look at the situation and say, well, like, are there more negatives, or are there more pros? And in this particular situation, I think there are more pros. And so that's where I'm going to lean on it. So anyway, you guys, get out of that. It's dead anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. But Bautista, get out of it. Go. Both of you, stop. Quit. Go. Stop it. Go lay down. Swear to you, man. Bautista's always got to be chewing on something. Yeah, you go. Go chew on that somewhere else, weirdo. Oh my God. I also had somebody be like, well, why is it that, you were getting rid of Gina and not Bautista? His temperament seems off. And it's like, no. There's a huge difference between stubbornness, which Bautista has, and the way that Gina behaves. If Bautista was my only dog, we wouldn't even have any issue. Like stubbornness is a breed trait within the Corso. There's nothing wrong with him. He has it more than some others, but I would not say that it's to a fault. And he's incredibly intelligent. I mean, incredibly intelligent. And that goes along with his stubbornness. So when you have really smart dogs, one of the trade-offs is that oftentimes they think that they know better than you. Much like children that are extremely intelligent, oftentimes they can also be very stubborn and not necessarily very good at following direction because they tend to think they know better. So anyway, I do not consider it the same thing, not even remotely close. I think that Bautista is an amazing dog in temperament, and in just genetics. And, he's young and he's, he's, underdeveloped at this point. Psh, what'd I tell you about that? No, go on now, go, stubborn dog. But he knows exactly what he's up to. He's a very intelligent dog. And so he just needs, he really just needs better, or not better, but more time. You know what I mean? More training, more time, which is why I'm taking him out and doing stuff with him. It really sucks here in Texas because literally for over half the year in the summertime, I can't take my dogs out and do anything with them. And it's very frustrating because I end up not really getting to put the time in that other people do. And so, I'm wanting to leave and move to Tennessee. That way I will have better weather and I can work with my dogs. But in the meantime, I am going to set up that kennel, that shed, not a shed. It's like a metal building. And what I'm going to try to do is get one big enough to where I actually can have some area to work with the dogs inside. So that would be the ideal situation. And then whoever buys this property can then use that for maybe a workshop or maybe a place to work on cars or whatever they want to do. But overall, that's really what I need. So that's what I'm going to be kind of going towards. And then as for an update on Gina, I think I have found her a home. I'm going to know within a short period of time. But, I've spoken with some people that are very interested in her. And so I'm pretty sure that I've got her a home now. But I do appreciate all the inquiries. She is a very sweet girl. She would do very well in a pet home. I wouldn't even consider her to be anywhere near as bad as like Seneca, and because Seneca was also kind of skittish, and Seneca is also in a family home and she's doing very well, very loving, very sweet, very loving. They know her triggers per se, for lack of a better word, and they're totally fine with it, and so it's awesome. So I have no doubt that Gina will have a great home, a great pet home, and it's not going to be a problem for her. So anyway, I'm going to get these guys on the road now, get moving, and I'll try to get some video for you guys, okay? I will talk at you later. Bye.